And here we go. We got the later games coming up week 1, 4:30 o'clock. And there you go. As you can see, the Chargers get beat the Bengals 16-13. The Chargers won this one. Tyrod Taylor went 16 for 30, 208 yards. Josh Kelly had 60 yards at a TD. Hunter Henry had 73 yards. Joe Burrow, 23 for 36, 193 yards, one pick, 46 yards, and a rushing TD. AJ Green is back, but he only had 51 yards, but that's okay. He did all right. Joe Burrow missed two good looks in the end zone to a couple receivers, but that's okay. He's still green. He's working it out. He's working out the process. You know what I'm saying? But bottom line is, we're going to get to the end and show you the end of what happened. Randy Bullock, you see it right there, 7 seconds left in the game. He missed a 31-yard field goal that would have tied it instead of the overtime. And then on top of that, he got a cramp as he was holding his leg. The worst time to pick up a cramp. The last 7 seconds of the game instead of in the overtime. Joe Burrow's looking like, what the heck just happened? And in this one, I try to tell people don't sleep on Arizona. They're going to be big business with D-Hop. Speaking of that, the Cardinals beat the 49ers. Yes, they did. 24-20. Kyler Murray went 26 of 40, 230 yards, one pick, one TD. He ran for 91 yards at a rushing TD, though, so Kyler Murray was all over the place. DeAndre Hopkins, he had 14 attempts, 151 yards. He was doing big business. He didn't score any touchdowns, but he led his team to the promised land. Jimmy G, poor star Jimmy G, 19 for 33, 259 yards, 2 TDs. Raheem Mostert, the player of the day in this one, 151 total yards and a TD. But my dude, Kenyon Drake, he scored a TD with like 5 minutes left in the game to seal the victory. You know, I had him on my fantasies. And bottom line here was, the Cardinals once again beat the 49ers 24-20. I told people to stop sleeping on Arizona. The Cardinals are the real deal, and they're going to lay smackdown this year. They're in the best conference of this year, honestly, but that's what's going down, and that's how it is. And here you go. You had the game the entire world was waiting on. The Saints against the Buccaneers. More so, Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. You want to know how that ended? The Saints ended up beating the Bucs 34-23. Drew Brees went for 18-30, 160 yards, 2 TDs. Not his best outlook, but bottom line is he got the job done. Alvin Kamara, star player of the game because he's Shinsuke Nakamura, 67 yards, 2 TDs. Tom Brady, what did he do today? 23-36, 239 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 picks. Ronald Jones had 66 yards. Chris Godwin, 79 yards. Mike Evans was not even seen until 2 minutes left, and 2 minutes and 41 seconds left in the game for a fourth quarter touchdown. And then Brady's second pick, by the way, was a pick 6. And who picked him off? Janoris Jenkins. And he came through and hit the pick 6 and finished it off. And bottom line is, everybody thought Tom Brady was going to have an easy time over here in the NFC. You got to understand, oh, by the way, you're taking on the Saints. And you probably have to take on, I don't know, the Vikings, the Packers, Seattle, the Seahawks, 49ers. Oh, don't forget about Arizona. You can't sleep on them. You have too many teams over there in the NFC. You thought you was going to get easy breaks, and then you try to yell at the officials. You can't yell at the officials. You don't have that New England pass no more. You in Tampa Bay, son. That's what's going down over here. But bottom line is, once again, Drew Brees led his team to the promised land and the Superdome, and they pulled out the victory 34-23. And then the team you gotta love, America's team, even though they talk about Lone Star State. Bottom line is, their state is in the middle of the continent, so how can it be Lone Star? It doesn't make any sense. But bottom line is, Dallas, they lost to the Rams 20-17 in this one. Jared Goff was 20-31, 275 yards and a pick. Malcolm Brown had 79 yards and 2 TDs. Robert Woods, 105 yards. Dak Prescott, 25-39, 266 and 1 TD. Ezekiel Elliott was running it today, but it wasn't enough. 127 yards and 2 TDs. He did give the business. Amari Cooper, 81 yards. Dak was 3 of 13 on third down conversions. That's not going to do it over here. Jarrett was tearing up the right side of the Dallas defense in the first half, the entire first half. The Cowboys did make adjustments in the second half, and they fed the beast known as Zeke. But it wasn't enough on this night, and the Los Angeles Rams get revenge for last year's 44-21 beatdown towards the end of the season. And there you go. Now, there was a questionable call towards the end of the game where Amari was supposed to have a catch, but then he pushed pushed off. They said he didn't push off, but then the refs decided that he did push off, and that sealed the fate of the Dallas Cowboys. And the Rams get their first win of the season. Like I said, 20-17. It was a heck of a battle, but certain things happened in this game. And bottom line is, Dallas came out on the losing end of it. All these delusional Dallas Cowboy fans talk about going to the Super Bowl. You're not going to go to the Super Bowl with stuff like this, but they did have a guy by the name of Aldon Smith that came back. He hasn't played in like 5 years on defense, but bottom line is, he did bring an element to the squad that kept this game close. But at the end of the day, they still lost. And that's what happened. And that's your 4:30 and 8:30 games of the night. And that's what's going down. That's what's happening. And by the way, we do have Monday games. We do have the Steelers taking on the Giants, and also the Broncos taking on the Texans tonight. And guaranteed, I will have the commentary footage for that the next day. It'll happen. And what's popping is football is back, baby. Yes.